All right, country dancers, in this video, we're gonna teach you the basics of country waltz in a way that will allow you to develop confidence and look great on the dance floor. My name is Brian B. I'm a 2017 inductee to the Country Dance Hall of Fame, and this is
Miss Megan,
who's a bad mama jama country dancer in her own right. Now, you might be wondering, Miss Megan, are ballroom waltz and country waltz the same or different?
both.
They're both. There's a couple things that make them the exact same. The first thing is that they're basically working counterclockwise around the outside of the floor. So if we're dancing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, we're working counterclockwise around the outside of the floor. Same way two-step goes. The second thing that makes it the same is that it's 3/4 time music, which we would call waltz music, meaning it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or you might just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that makes it the same. Now there's a couple things, 3 things that make it different, but we're gonna cover that as we go. First thing that makes it different is if you saw ballroom waltz, you would see a waltz box. Very good to learn the basics of waltz, not something you'll see on the country dance floor much at all. What you're gonna see is a progressive basic, and this is the first of our 7 patterns, and it's a progressive basic, looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we continue progressing down the floor. So let's cover the basic footwork, and then we're gonna cover the second thing that makes country waltz different from ballroom waltz. So my left foot is free as the leader, the right foot is free as the follower. We're walking forward for 3 steps, 1, 2, 3. Then we're gonna do the same thing on the other foot for 4, 5, 6. So let's do that one more time. So leaders are walking forward with their left foot. We're dancing left, right, left, right, left, right. 1 step to 1 beat of music. Pretty simple stuff. Any tips for the followers?
Followers, we're going backwards.
Bingo.
3 steps at a time, starting with our right. So we have back, 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 and back, back, back.
Cool. So here's the second thing that'll make it different, right? First thing is we're going to be progressing the whole way. We're not going to be closing our feet together. But the second thing is there's a lot of technique in ballroom dancing that's not necessary. Totally you can use it. We use it in our dancing, but it's not necessary. What I mean by that is in ballroom, and you can do this when you dance, I'm going to be taking a heel, a toe, and a toe, and a heel, and a toe, and a toe, right? That would be the good basics of waltz. You can totally use that in your country dancing. We do. But if that's struggle bus for you in the beginning, you can just walk flat-footed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll want to work into the first version of it over time, but that's the basic. Now let's cover the basic hold. So Megan, and this is going to be the same country dancing or ballroom dancing. You have a window as the follower, right? My right arm is going to go underneath her shoulder blade. I'm going to connect myself halfway here and halfway here. Megan's going to put her arm, talk about that arm for me.
Followers, you're going to put your hand on their bicep and then lay your arm just on top of the leaders. We are not resting or leaning. We are just placing.
And then this hand here is going to go. And this is the same. This is good etiquette no matter what partner dance style you're doing. This hand's going to go up at eye height. So whose eyes? Her eyes. So if I was shorter or taller, it's going to go at her eye height. This is my frame, elbow to elbow. So whether I'm dancing ballroom, which would require just a little bit more of this, and we go country, which is a little bit less, that's still good etiquette. So that being said, my right foot is always between my partner's feet. So as I step forward on the left foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's my basic. Let's look at it the other way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's your progressive basic, and you can do it with that technical footwork. Let's do that one time. For me, it's heel, toe, toe, heel, toe, toe. There's your technical footwork, not necessary if you're just dancing at the country bar. Megan's footwork, technically speaking, before we get to our first turn.
Followers, we don't have any heel leads because we're going backwards. So it's all toes. So we have toe, 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 and toe, toe, toe.
Bingo. There's your technical stuff, but again, we're just going to be progressing. First thing we're going to do is a turn that you won't see very often in ballroom waltz, but you'll see it a lot in country waltz, is our basic turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my basic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my turn. Let's do it one way back the other side. So one full basic first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Half a basic, and then my turn. So let's talk footwork to that. Good news for the leaders. it's the same footwork that you just did before, so we'll have Megan talk about the followers' footwork.
All right, if we did a basic, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do half a basic. 1, 2, 3. We are still going to go backward for 4, starting to turn on 5, finishing the turn on 6, and then we can go back into a basic.
Cool. Let's go the other way, Miss Megan.
Other way, whole basic. First we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, half 1, 2, 3, 4, turning 5, turning 6, and we are turning to our right.
All right, so to get this ready, now we're just going to do half a basic. So you want to, what I call kill half a basic, just do half a basic. 1, 2, 3. At this point, leaders, I'm going to get this hand ready. By ready, I mean I'm going to pull those fingers down, and I'm going to circle Megan's head. We teach this in all of our videos called baby steps. I'm just going to practice that hand going over her head to come back. That's what's going to go on. I get the hand ready, practice that by itself, over her head and back. And she is, beginner tip, pro tip, she's going under my arm, not under her own arm. Because if she goes under her own arm, she's turning herself. And I want to lead. It's one of the few areas I get control. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back to our basic. Let's do it the other way. Half a basic first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3. Cool. Now you might see this. We talked about one of the things different between country and ballroom waltz is a little bit of the technique. So you'll see us, from our ballroom waltz background, dancing these sides, right? Kind of creating this waltz thing. Not necessary, but it's a little bit helpful in this turn, meaning if I dance half my basic, 1, 2, 3, and I've got this side loaded back a little bit, it helps my turn. So there's where a little bit of your technique can actually help your social waltz. All right, so that's the first 2 patterns. All right, so our third basic pattern for country waltz is going to be the twinkle or promenade. But before we cover that, I want to tell you the third thing that makes country and ballroom waltz different. It's typically the music speed. So waltz music for ballroom is very slow. Country tends to be a little faster. So the patterns that we want to choose to make us feel good and look good are going to be slightly different. But this is one that you'll need to know regardless of what type of waltz you're doing. And it's called the twinkle or promenade. Here's what it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be a move that opens up a window that's going to open up a bunch of different moves, and we're going to use that to get to some cool stuff. So for the twinkle or promenade position, but the twinkle is the name of the move, I'm going to dance 1, 2, 3, and then bring her back around 4, 5, 6. So I have to, as the leader, as I dance my basic, instead of just going forward, I'm going to turn to my right, and I'm going to dance 1, 2. They call this promenade position. 3. If you've ever seen the movies where they go in tango, that's promenade position. We need to be able to get to promenade position. So leaders, we dance 1, 2, 3. Now I take my left foot, pull around 4, 5, 6. We're going to use that in a lot of things. So Miss Megan, your footwork, please.
Followers, we are going back, kind of diagonally side, and then we are going to open and go down line. Then we have forward, side, back down line.
One more time.
One more time. We have 1, 2, 3 going down line, then 4, 5, 6 getting back in front of our partner.
All right, so how do we lead this? We talked about this early on, about this window. You can see Megan over my right shoulder. Followers, you're always going to be looking over this shoulder. One of my students a long time ago said there's a shoe sale going on over there, or maybe today it'd be an Amazon sale.
Or puppies.
Or puppies for Miss Megan. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's look at it the other way so you can see this window. Leaders, I'm going to dance 1. On 2, I want to step between her feet. So I'm almost kind of aiming this way. So I can basically get ahead. 2, 3. So in this position, I still want to be ahead of her. Now as I step 4, I use my arms to swing her around, both arms, on 4, 5, 6. So we do back the other way, 1 time each way. We dance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do it this way as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, gang, pattern 4, we're gonna use that promenade position to dance into a cuddle. This you're gonna see at a lot of honky-tonk bars around the country. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's look at it back the other way. So we use our promenade position to get to this cuddle position and then take her back out. So what do we need to do? Leader's footwork first. We already know how to get into it. We dance 1, 2, 3, same as we did in the pattern before. I lead this hand over for 4, 5, 6. I keep walking forward, 1, 2, 3, and then I take her back out, 4, 5, 6. Now we'll show you how to stay there for a little while, because if you only know a few moves, you're gonna wanna hang out in those moves for a little bit. One more time, leader's part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Forward, 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 bring her around. So for Miss Megan's footwork, this is the promenade position to a cuddle, or twinkle to a cuddle.
All right, followers, we are getting into our promenade first. So we have 1, 2, 3. Now we are gonna start to turn and go back to facing down line. So we have 4, turning 5, landing forward on 6. We're gonna do half a basic. 1, 2, 3. Left foot is gonna start to go in front of your partner for 4, turning 5, back on 6.
So one more time.
Yes.
This is the cuddle, very common move you'll see.
All right, so starting with the promenade, 1, 2, 3, starting to turn, 4, turning 5, forward 6, 1, 2, 3, going forward. Now we start to curve 4, around for 5, back on 6.
All right, cool. Let's talk about how to lead this, and then in the next move, we'll show you how to add an extra turn to it too to make it cool. So we dance 1, 2, 3. I want to be slightly ahead of my partner. I need to get this hand ready in this very moment to what we call a swing grip. My hand's underneath. Now on the 4, 5, 6, I'm going to pull this overhead 4, 5, 6. So there's a lot going on there. So we're going to use our baby steps. So just hold your partner like this. I'm going to take this hand from my promenade position, drop it underneath, pull it between our heads. Now, Megan, let's talk about what goes on with this free hand.
All right, so followers, on this side, your left arm, your left hand, as you're spinning through here, you are going to trace down their arm. If they don't want it, they won't take it. But if they do want it, it'll go click right into place.
And we're a cuddle position. So that's going to be an important key, especially as we get to the next move, because the next move, I'm not going to keep that hand. So we dance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're in our cuddle position. I'm going to dance a basic. 1, 2, 3. Now to take her out, leaders, I'm going to let go of this. I'm actually going to use my hand to guide her for 4, 5, 6, and continue into our basic. Let's look at it from the other side. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Pull her back around. So that is your cuddle for basic country waltz. Next up, we're going to do the cuddle and exit with a cool turn. All right, gang, step number 5 is our cuddle, but we're going to exit it with a turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Turn her out, and 1, 2, 3. Super cool. Let's cover this before we get into how that's going to happen. Once we get to this cuddle position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can hang out here for as long as I want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to exit always with my left foot free. So in the previous video, we did no turn exit. My left, I'm sorry,
right.
That's my right. It's your left foot. So it's like a 3-legged race. This one's free. When this one's free, that's the one I can take her out in on both moves. So let's talk about how we take her out of this. Let's assume we've got into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 1, 2, 3. My right foot is free. Now from here, leaders, I'm going to leave my footwork, my feet alone. This left arm is coming all the way around for her. That's what's going to happen. So right from here, just practice this hand looping between and over her head. That's the path of that hand, right? So we're in the position. This is how you know you're good. You can just assume that position. Inside foot's free. Now Megan's going to talk about her footwork in just a second, but this is the exit with a turn, 2, 3, and off we go. So footwork is the same for the leaders, basic stuff, but for the followers.
Followers, we're in our cuddle position. Our left foot is free. The turn, we are going to step forward on our left foot. So we have forward. We are going to start to turn on our right foot. We are going to finish the turn on our left foot and then go right into our basic. All right, so let's do that again. I will try to use numbers.
Tricky turn for the followers.
So it starts on 4. This is 4, turning on 5, finishing on 6, and then 1, 2, 3.
So that is a tricky turn.
Yes, it is.
As we come back in the camera, let's look at the whole thing all the way through. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and here we go, and 1, 2, 3. So pro tip for the leaders, you want to stay behind the followers at this point. You want to let her get ahead of you. So that's pro tip for me, and then Megan will give the pro tip for the followers. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. At this point, small footwork for me. Small, 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 so I can go ahead and pick up my next basic. Any tips for the followers?
Followers, keep that turn rotating. Like, let your feet keep moving as you turn around.
And it's weird because you're going to step as you start this turn. Remember, leaders, my right foot's free. 1, 2, 3. Megan lands that turn facing the wrong direction. She has to keep coming around. Leaders, I can help with this hand. If I do this again, I can help with this hand. 1, 2, 3. I'm taking her all the way back around to me so I can dance to my basic. All right, let's look at step number 6 in our country dance basics video. All right, move number 6 is our front to front, back to back. It's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what is going on with this move? This is, again, if we're thinking about country waltz, it's very social. So what are moves that you could do socially that are not hard to do, even if your partner's not that good? Leaders, you probably have to know what you're doing at least a little bit. So we already know to use our twinkle. Now I'm going to take Megan across and in front of me so I can get to front, back to back. Pretty aptly named front to front, back to back. I'm going to take her back across in another twinkle. So let's talk about how to do that. So we already know how to get into it, and it's very simple. It's another good skill to get Megan to the other side. It's going to open up a bunch of different moves. So it looks like this. 1, 2, 3. Now we already know how to bring her back in front of us, right? But I want to get her all the way to the other side. So 1, 2, 3. With small steps and a little extra oomph to my lead, 4, 5, 6. I basically swing her to the other side. So this works whether the music is fast like country waltz or slow like ballroom waltz. 1, 2, 3, because I have both hands on her. 4, 5, 6. So let's talk about the footwork. Quickly, leaders, then followers. So leaders, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to swing around. Footwork's the same. 4, 5, 6. I'm still on my same track, headed straight down line. But Megan, and I'm going to leave me here so they can see the...
Followers, you're going to go just a little extra than before. So we have 1, 2, 3 getting into our promenade position. Now we're going across the track for 4, across for 5, and opening on 6.
Cool beans. All right, lead-wise, pretty easy stuff because I got 2 hands on my partner. 1, 2, 3. I will switch this hand to an underhand grip like we talked about before for the cuddle turn. 4, 5, 6. Now this is pretty easy stuff. Front to front, back to back. We're stepping forward, side together, and forward, side together, forward, side together, and forward, side together. Let's look at that part from the other side. We dance our twinkle, 2, 3, shovel her across, forward, side together, forward, side together, forward, side together, and forward, side together. Let's do it one more time. Let's talk about a couple different things you might see. We talked about the second thing of country waltz and ballroom waltz. The technique doesn't matter as much. So what we mean by that is maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll see people do this. They'll go forward, side, behind for me. Who cares? Who cares? It still works. Forward, forward, and forward together. Maybe not together. No big deal. There we go. We go forward, side, behind, and forward, forward, forward. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So let's dance our way back, and we'll talk about how to get her out of it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do different footwork than Megan, and it doesn't matter for social waltzing. So that's how we get into it. How do we get out of it? Well, once I get Megan to the other side, 4, 5, 6, we do a couple of these front to fronts, back to backs. Now with my left foot free, I need to now swing her to my right side and to my left side. It's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's talk about that. Once she's on your left side, we'll do it both ways. 1, 2, 3. You could call this our promenade position as before, and then I swing her back in front of me. Yes? So let's do that going back the other way so Megan can talk about her footwork. You're on this side, Miss Megan. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My left foot's free, ready. So Miss Megan, your footwork.
Followers, you're on your right foot. You're going to be heading across. So cross, cross, and down line. And then back in front of your partner.
Let's do it one more time so you can see the footwork.
Yep.
So whenever the inside foot's free, my left foot, Megan's right foot.
So yep, right foot's going to go 1 across for 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. Get you back in front from your twinkle from before.
So let's look at it one time all the way through. We have our twinkle, 2, 3. I bring her across. Front to front and back to back. I swing her across and back across me. All right, gang, step 7 looks something like this. This is our shadow position, but we're going to do that in the next video because you have to know something before that, and that's called the right turns. So we said that country and ballroom are more the same than they are different, and this is the same in both, and the footwork's going to be used in the next video. So we're going to dance our promenade so I can get in front of my partner so I can dance a right turn all the way around the floor and then back to my basic. So that's going to be something you'll definitely want to know. It's a little tricky, but if you get that, you'll be able to do the shadow positions and a bunch of cool versions of that shadow position in the next video. So let's talk about how we get this right turn. 1, 2, 3. We dance that promenade position. Now there's all this space in front of me. I'm going to dance in that space, right? So from here, now I'm going to swing Megan past me, and I'm going to swing past her, and she's going to swing past me into my basic. So if you can master this, it's super fun. Let's do it back the other way, and then we'll talk about the footwork. So promenade gets us in. 1, 2, 3. She stays in her window. I go past. 4, 5, 6. From here, I'm going to swing her past me, and then I'm going to swing past her, and so on and so forth. So let's talk about leaders' footwork first. Leaders, we're going to dance. Megan's going to do her footwork back here, but she'll do hers in a second. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go past her, forward, side, back. Now this gets tricky. Back, side, forward. Back, side, forward. Keep going. Forward, side, back, back, side, forward. Let's do that. Let's go the other way. So twinkle first. 1, 2, 3. I go ahead, forward, side, back. Then back, side, forward, forward, side, back, and back, side, forward. Tricky stuff, but that's going to open up a ton of cool things in your waltz. Miss Megan?
All right, followers, so we start with our twinkle. So we have 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to have 3 steps forward for 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to go across for forward, side, back, and now we go back, side, forward, and then we have forward, side, back.
Cool. One more time for the followers. Leaders, you can practice along too.
All right, getting into our twinkle, we have 1, 2, 3, and then 3 steps forward for 4, 5, 6. Your leader will now be in front of you. You go forward, side, back, and then back, side, forward, forward, side, back.
Cool. So let's get into this. This is where your window is going to matter. We talked before about technique doesn't matter, but as I get a little bit better, I want to thread a little bit of that in. And this is where this window is going to make a lot more sense. So we have our closed position. We dance our twinkle. 1, 2, 3. I'm ahead of Miss Megan. You can see me over the shoulder. I'm going to go forward, side, back, forward, side, back. Notice Megan has already put herself on this side. Now as I swing this through, back, side, forward. Now it doesn't matter if I step outside her feet or through her feet, whatever's comfortable, it will still work. 1, 2, 3. Let's go back the other way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice Megan's in her window, right over my shoulder. Oop, I'm falling over with my shape. Thank you, Miss Megan. So back, side, forward. Notice I'm staying in my window. You might start to see a little shape to us. That's just to help me stay in this window. Then I'm going to take this foot. It might go right underneath her. It might go outside. Who cares? Right through there. And the goal is that we just work ourselves around the floor. Now, there's 2 ways you can get out of it. As Megan's like, which 2 ways are there, Brian B? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. I might lay right here and just go straight into my basic. That's probably the easiest way to get out of it. So that's your easiest way to get out. In the next video, we're going to teach you some shadow positions that we talked about before, some cool moves in this position here where we can take this up and over, and some cool stuff like that in the next video. All right, but before we get to that, let's look at everything we've learned to music. Basic, your basic underarm turn, your twinkle, twinkle into cuddle, right back to close, twinkle into cuddle, with a full turn from Miss Megan, another full basic, a twinkle, pulling her across, front to front, back to back, pull her in front of me, ooh, different exit right there. There's my basic, twinkle, right turns. And we finish her in front of me, and there's your country waltz. All right, as promised, here is the video to learn those shadow position moves. They're really cool for country waltz. And also, the best thing I've ever created to help you develop confidence and look great in the dance floor is our full access membership over on our website. Right here, you can try it for 14 days free. It's the best way to level up your game for all your country dances like waltz and two-step and East Coast swing, as well as all your ballroom dances. It's a social dancer's dream. You can try it here for 14 days.